what I also think is crazy for you guys right now and really exciting is because you were so involved in the business side of your career early on, before that was like a hip thing to do. And the company that they have now is not only involved in management, but label side, publishing, marketing, merch, everything to do with the business of your band. But you guys are all still young. Like you're not the Rolling Stones. Like you're young guys, and yet you have bands like 5 Seconds and Five Sauce, as we like to call them at AP, and Sleeping, and all these bands that grew up on Good Charlotte. That you get to wear that elder statesman hat as well. And I'm curious, how, like, first of all, how that even strikes you, because there was a time when you guys were like, oh, those are the dudes from Rancid over there, and those are the and now you're that band that the Good Charlottes of today are like freaking out that they get to meet you and write songs with you.
I mean, we appreciate it because in our time, we got both sides. I mean, we were a polarizing band, and at the time, it wasn't the same as it is now. I mean, even social media wasn't really like what it is. It didn't exist like it does now. So it was. You never knew like who liked you, and I know we had fans, but it was definitely. It wasn't that whole the TRL era of there was pop music, and we had one foot in kind of everywhere. I think now Good Charlotte is a much more accepted idea. Like I think it's the idea that we sometimes we're heavy. Most of our songs are really melodic and poppy, and we've always enjoyed writing songs that we feel are like great pop songs, but also we had a lot to say. We were there was and the idea that which is rare too in music these days is that we did it all ourselves, which was the DIY thing was given to us from the bands that we loved, and the bands like Rancid, who will always say Rancid was one of our biggest influences because of the. To this day, they're still that band. They're still doing it, and it's a spirit, that you can that you can do it yourself. And there's kind of a hybrid of that. I mean, look, what Good Charlotte's doing today is, the company that me and my brothers started is everything. It's management, it's a label, it's publishing, and we work with a lot of different artists in a lot of different ways, But what they all get is real information from us, so that they can hopefully avoid making mistakes, and they know what they're doing. DIY is definitely something that I believe in more than ever today. But there's many different ways to get there. There's major labels are great too, and for the right bands, they're great.
Well, and I always thought, you mentioned the TRL era, which gets derided, sometimes rightfully so, sometimes unfairly. And what I always appreciated then about Good Charlotte and some other bands like POD and some other bands kind of around that time, you would see Benji and Joel on TRL wearing like Madball shirts, and you would see POD had a video where the drummer's wearing a Zayo jersey. Like you were always, there were those few bands that came from our scene that brought the scene with you into the mainstream. And I think, now is a time where a lot of bands on our scene grew up seeing you. I mean, we all had like the gateway bands, right? That got us. I mean, it's undeniable that a lot of people discovered Rancid or even Op Ivy or because they liked My Chemical Romance or Good Charlotte or Green Day. So I mean, I think that's something that you're rightfully getting props for now from a lot of these bands.
Well, we love the bands. And we'll always love bands. We'll always love the genre of music that we kind of came from. We'll always love it, and we'll always promote bands that we believe in, and music. Music that someone's creating for the sake of creating art and creating a record and creating an experience for someone. I can always get behind that, and I can always. Feel good about promoting that regardless of what genre, specifically it's in. because I really truly still believe in creativity and in music.
Amen. What is some of the best advice that you got early on in your career, and what is some advice that you wish you had gotten that you didn't hear when you should have?
Well, my stepdad being in the business, he told me that you better practice every day, or else someone's going to steal your job. And he instilled this idea of, vigilance and work ethic and, greatness. And the only way you get to be the guy that you love is by, it's like, I use the analogy like someone like Kobe Bryant, we turn on the TV and see him play, and he's amazing, but nobody sees what he does when he's not on TV. Nobody sees what I do, or I don't see what you do. If you're in one of the practice rooms up here shedding 4 hours a day, I still practice every day because I will never be as good as I want to be on my instrument, ever. And, I think that what him giving me and instilling that within my soul and my mind allowed me to have that idea that I'll win no matter what. And you know what? And there's a lot of running into the wall and falling down, and you just have to have that, drive that nothing's going to stop you. And it all kind of just falls together. But the idea, just the work ethic, and I just used practicing the drums as one idea. The music business, it's music and it's business. It's a business. It's not just me playing drums. It's like building a business and learning about the business. It's not just being on stage and being backstage and raging and all of that shit that we see. It's if you want to have longevity and you want to, you want to be the Rolling Stones, which I do, and you want to just be going like this. I don't want to be like famous or successful and be involved in a hit record and then what happened to them. I want to have a lifetime of growth in every part of this business that I'm in. And Joel said it earlier. I love the music business, everything about it, and I want to learn. And it's just like going into my drum room that I go into every day, or working on the pad at home in the afternoon, or picking up a guitar and writing and recording and learning about trying to get better, record, whatever. Or learning about calling him and asking him advice of, how do I deal with this situation in business with this client that he turned me on to? I want to get from A to B, A to Z. Yeah, do that, because this guy is a smart man. So I go and, I also, my stepdad told me, well, you have to have your shit together to win. You just do. It's a fact. Anyone that I know in this business, like John Feldman, people like that, they work their asses off. And, most people don't see it. They just see the end product, like I said. So that, to me, I know I'm just kind of long-winded and all over the place, but...
That's why we're here.
Right. So that's
going
all I
anywhere.
got. What?
Not leaving.
He goes, I'm out of here. All right. So, yeah, that's, basically.
No, it's real what you're saying, and you work, like I said, he's one of the hardest working guys I've ever met. He shows up and does the work, and that is part of it. That's it. You have to work hard. What I'd say is, you only get to be you. You don't get to be anyone else. So just believe in yourself, bet on yourself. Hard work produces results, but you can't. I don't get to be anyone else. I don't get to be another musician or another guy in the music business, or I can't try to be another band. This was the band that this was it. So I think you have to look at what you have, and you got to work with what you have, and you got to build from there, and you have to find, your talent. You have to find your interests, and you have to find, you have to define what success means to you. And then you have to work towards it and understand that you only get one. You get this being, and so there's no point in wishing you were someone else or looking at someone else's success or their failures or anything else, you know, good or bad. There's no point in sitting around and hating on anyone. There's no point in sitting around and being jealous of anyone. The only thing is be inspired so that you continue to go towards, you know, what you want to achieve. And like, maybe that all sounds cliche, but like all the cliches that people tell you, the harder you work, the luckier you get, like, you know, all those things, they're all true. And they've been proven time and time again. And you can look, you know, I always tell people, optimism is the key to all of it. So you have to just be optimistic, and you have to, you know, get to know yourself, believe in yourself, and the more you do that, the more you trust your own interests, and what inspires you, you'll find your way. But it is really true, you know, it is really important that you understand that, like, your version of success is going to be different than mine, and, you know, it could be greater, or it could just be different. But, you know, that's it.
Is this what you do on The Voice Australia? Because I want to. How do I watch it?
I don't. I actually don't talk. I don't talk as much as I'm talking tonight. Ever in life, I never talk this much.
We have been so. I can tell you, it's a company-wide sentiment at Alternative Press. We've been so proud, stoked, whatever the word. Right. I'm a writer. I ain't got no words. We love being part of the resurrection of Good Charlotte, of you guys coming back and partnering up with you guys. It's been
grateful, man.
Well, we appreciate Alternative Press over the years. Not only what you've meant to Good Charlotte, giving us our first magazine cover, but also what you've meant to a scene. Like I said, I really truly believe that pop punk and emo is a dismissed, underrepresented, a misunderstood genre. And, you know, it's not represented in, like, the Grammys. It's not represented in a lot of places that it should be, because it's a genre that means a lot to a lot of people and has at times in their lives that are really important. And I think it's as a genre and a culture, it's an important part of music that kind of gets dismissed sometimes. And you guys are, you know, you guys represent that. So I can say, like, every band, I could say I speak for every band, but we appreciate the support and the absolutely. There was a history there, though, that meant a lot to us, and the idea behind everything we're doing with Good Charlotte, you know, it's all about special. So everything we do, when we go out next year and we play shows. You know,
you guys are going out and playing shows next year?
We're going to be playing shows next year, and the record's coming. The record's coming, and, you know, and we're going to have a date soon, and more songs are coming, and we're doing a lot of different things. But for us, it's only the things we want to do, and we're lucky enough to be able to do that. And every show is going to be great because we all really want to be there, and we're all excited to be on stage together.
I love it. We've got a couple microphones set up. Please don't murder each other on your way, but if you guys can line up. I just want to ask that you keep it to one question. Tell us your name, whether or not you're a student here, what you do. And if we could keep the questions, of course, to Good Charlotte and the music business.
Yay.
Did you?
News alert, I won my fantasy game.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna say that's the luck in this room that did that for you. So we start over here. I think you got up first.
How you doing, guys? It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Tommy. I play
Hey,
drums
Tommy.
here.
Nice to meet you.
I have a question. I'm in a band, a pop punk band, a little bit of heavy spots, and yeah, we're about to go on the road because we just finished up our first EP as a whole. We finally got a solid lineup. What advice do you have for?
What's the name of your
guys?
band?
Spare Me Graceful.
Cool.
SMG.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yeah, you know, I've never been on the road before. You know, this is all new to me, but I'm excited for it. And, you know, what advice do you have for us?
How long's the tour?
It's going to be like about 2 months.
Oh, good. Where are you doing? The U.S.?
Yeah, all the way up the West Coast, down Texas, up to Florida, up the East Coast, pretty much the whole way around.
Is it like the same bands, or are you kind of in each different cities? You're playing with different bands?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of different bands. We're going to be playing with a little bit heavier bands like metalcore and
Cool.
you know, hardcore stuff, but we're pop punk and a little bit of post-hardcore. So I
That's
think it should
cool.
be all right.
And you booked it yourselves?
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, to be honest, that's the best way to start is learning how to do it yourself, and take the opportunity. If you're there, I always say, if we're here, let's make the most of it. And like when you're in every city. Before, I remember on our first few tours when and well into our career, there was no social media way of connecting with fans. So we were literally at malls, passing out flyers. You know,
Like
we did it all. When in every city we would just go. We would set up as we got bigger. We'd set up meet and greets. We'd find partners to do like whether it was like Hot Topic or a music store or wherever. We would do meet and greets and stuff like that. I would try to like use the time out there to build your, your band and your business. And you know, those early tours like that are probably the ones you'll remember the most. Are you guys? Do you have like a van and stuff? Or are you renting one?
We're actually going to Glendale to pick one up soon.
Nice. That's good. Yeah.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna be
suck.
interesting.
You'd maybe call like, do you have a manager? Do you have like nothing like
Nah,
that?
it's
So
all
maybe like, you know,
me and the guys.
an idea that I would think of is maybe call the colleges in each town.
Okay.
Just do your homework, and even if they're small or junior, you know, try to get into the radio station and see if you can pimp your music, have them play it. Just anything, like he said, anything you can do to, you know, have people listen to you.
And get to know
Not
the
only
other.
on stage, but, you know.
Get to
during
know the other bands.
Yeah.
You know, make friends. Because
Yeah, that brings us back to this community thing. that-
all of our tours came from our friends. It was just guys we met. We met whether it was the band or their crew or their like friend. Like we just wanted to be friends with everyone, and it always. I mean, we always got included on a tour because we met and we hung out and we had a good time and we just went on the road together.
Relationships matter.
Yeah.
Mike, Tom, and Yuri, shout out.
Relationships that are genuine, always, like when it's really genuinely, like when you mean it, you know, it always matters.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it.
Going to go over
Say-
in this direction.
Hey, name's Stefano. I'm also in his band, by the way. But yeah, I go to the engineering program here. I grew up in the DMV. Was born in Virginia, raised in Maryland.
Cool.
And I was wondering, my 13-year-old self will kill me if I didn't ask this. What was the first song Good Charlotte played when you guys got back together?
It's a great question. I love that.
What was the first song you played at rehearsal? You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first song was.
I think it was Makeshift Love.
Yeah, we were all so stoked
We were all
'cause it was a
so
new song.
excited to play it. Yeah,
That was it.
yeah, it was Makeshift Love.
Yeah, you guys, Waldorf, right?
Yeah.
Waldorf. Yeah, I grew up in Germantown.
Oh, cool, man. Well, DMV Love. It's a special place, the DMV. You guys don't know about it, but yeah.